Bonjour. So today we're going to learn the feminine vocab of the town or the city. So la ville, okay? So we're going to look at the feminine vocab and hopefully you find it easy. You should again recognize a lot of the words. They're similar to what we use in English. So we already know la ville is the town, the city. It's a feminine word. So the more you're aware of the gender of it, the easier that will become. Okay? So we're going to start off with la poste. La Poste is the post office, okay? So I suppose the big difference between the post office is here and there is here our post office sign is green, whereas over there it tends to be that yellow with the blue in it, okay? So the yellow and the blue. But they've the same, the postmen drive around and deliver the post, etc. It's nothing majorly different. So La Poste, the post office. Okay, so there's a picture of a very modern looking post office. So La Poste, and on the, we'll say just on the sliding door there, service rapide, rapid service. And just telling you how you can draw out your money, etc. All right. Okay, and there's a picture of a yellow post box, so La Poste, and they have it divided into two sections. So on the left-hand side, it says Paris banlieue, so the Paris suburbs. So you post your mail in there for the suburbs of Paris. And then on the right-hand side, if you're sending it to autres départements étrangers, so other foreign departments. Okay, so anywhere outside of that. Okay, there's a post van, La Poste. Okay, la banque is the bank. Okay, so la banque, the bank. Now they're like us. We have AIB, Bank of Ireland, Permanent TSB, Ulster Bank. They have the same as well. They have different kind of branches of banks over there. So la banque. Now BNP Paribas will be a very popular bank over there. You can see your fella there as well at the ATM machine. Now, don't ever be worrying about using an ATM machine at a bank in France, because when you put your card in, it recognises that you're from an English-speaking country, so it'll automatically bring up the English options for you. So never worry or stress about using your bank card there or withdrawing money. You'll be safe. So BNP Paribas is just a French bank. So la banque. Le guichet automatique is the bank link. Okay, or the ATM. So le guichet automatique. Now, guichet is another word for a ticket machine or a ticket desk as well. So I suppose it automatically allows you to withdraw your money. You know, le retrait is another key word as well for ATM or bank link. So think you're retreating your money, you're taking your money out of it. So retrait or le guichet automatique. So if you could just recognize those two words, fantastic. So ATM or bank link. Okay. So you can see there, like very similar to our bank links. On the right hand side, it says carte, so to put in your card. And over on the left hand side, then you see the word billet. Billet mostly means ticket, or tickets, if you're buying a concert ticket or a train ticket. But it can refer to your notes as well, so taking out your notes. So les billets, okay? So le guichet automatique, the ATM, or le retrait, the ATM as well. Okay, l'église is the church. L'église. Now, it's a feminine word. We wouldn't know it because of the vowel and the L apostrophe, but try to remember that it's feminine. So if I wanted to say a church, I'd say une église. So l'église, okay? L'église Saint-Sulpice à Paris. Just showing you a picture of a church in Paris. The Saint-Sulpice, an absolutely beautiful church. Not too far from the Eiffel Tower. I think it's about maybe a 15-minute walk from it or more. But now, in the smaller towns in France, the churches look similar to our own churches as well. So l'église is the church. La place is the square. So la place, the square. Now, I suppose we have a few towns in Ireland with squares in them, but that would be the influence of the British and the colonisation and the Munster and the Ulster plantations that they would have introduced that English architecture into Ireland. But they do have squares, town squares in towns and in cities in France as well. And there are lovely meeting points. You can see the carousel. They'd often put them in the town squares for the children. The tram might go through there. They might have a fountain and a seating area. They're really, really pretty, inviting spots. So la place is the square. La mairie is another word for the town hall. Okay, la mairie. So earlier in the masculine vocab, we learned that l'hôtel de ville is the town hall. So la mairie is also another word for the town hall. Okay, so just to be familiar with both of them. La maire would be the mayor. So la mairie, the town hall. Okay, there's a picture of one in a real rural area in France. So a real old style building. So la mairie is the town hall. La station-service is the petrol station. La station-service. Okay, so think service station, petrol station. La piscine is the swimming pool. So la piscine. La piscine, the swimming pool. Okay, so handy word to know. So you'd say, il n'y a pas de piscine à Canturc, mais il y a une piscine à Malo. Okay, so describing that there's no swimming pool in Canturc, but there is one nearby in Malo. So la piscine, the swimming pool. La MJC stands for La Maison des Jeunes et de la Culture, is the youth club. Okay, so maison is house, jeune means young people, and obviously culture is culture. So it's basically the house for young people and culture. So in youth clubs in France, and they do have them in most towns and cities for their young people, they put a big emphasis on getting young people out and doing activities. They're really, really good spots. They're good places. They would do different arts and crafts activities, sports, films, anything cultural. They're really, really good for young people. I think it's shameful that we don't have enough of them in Ireland. So la MJC, youth clubs. Okay, so there's a picture of one brochure from a youth club. So you can see they did wall climbing, they did singing, art, drama, dancing, acting, arts and crafts. So they're fantastic areas for young people. So la MJJC. Okay, la gare is the train station. Very important word to know, because no doubt when you go to France in future you'll need to find one. So handy sign to spot. So la gare, the train station. Okay, la gare. La Gare du Nord à Paris, just to make you aware, is the biggest train station really in Paris, if not probably in France actually, is the Gare du Nord in Paris. It's huge. If you were coming from the UK into France and you're getting the Channel Tunnel, if you're getting the Eurostar from the UK to France, you'd arrive into Paris into the Gare du Nord train station. So it's a really, really big train station. You'd really want to have your wits about you and know what part you're going to. So la gare, the train station. Okay? Another word for train station is la gare SNCF. It's just another train station. The SNCF is just the name of the main rail company in France. Like we would have Erin Road Erin. Theirs is just called SNCF. So just in case you ever see that, you're still at the train station. It's just the name of the main rail company there. So la gare. La gare routière, on the other hand, is the bus station. Now, route or routière is to do with the roads. So obviously, bus station. So la gare on its own, train station. La gare routière is the bus station. Okay? So you can see another sign there for la gare routière. La bibliothèque is the library. So la bibliothèque, the library. There would be a big emphasis in France on encouraging young people to go to the library, and they really do encourage young people to read. And I think we've learned that big time in Ireland as well throughout the pandemic, that it doesn't matter what age you are, reading is so, so important. You improve your reading skills, you learn a lot, you wind down, you're not spending time on screens. Reading a good book is just brilliant for the soul. So la bibliothèque, they would have a lot of them in France, the library. So bibliothèque. Okay, it looks like a big spelling, but it's easy when you break it down. So la bibliothèque, the library. La Bibliothèque nationale à Paris, the National Library in Paris. Doesn't it look absolutely fabulous? Like, I haven't been there, but I'd love to go there sometime. I'm assuming that they'd allow tourists in anyway, or else I'll have to join. But La Bibliothèque nationale à Paris, the National Library in Paris. La cathédrale is obviously the cathedral. So la cathédrale, France have the most beautiful cathedrals. They're just work of art. I mean, the architecture is fabulous on them. You're looking at the la cathédrale de Notre Dame, so the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, which sadly a part of it burned down a few years ago, and they're still restoring it and rebuilding it to this day. So it's kind of the central spire there that you're seeing that was made of wood, and that's what caught fire and that's what burnt down. So they're trying to reconstruct that. But their cathedrals, it's Gothic architecture. It's just a work of beauty to look at it. So la cathédrale, the cathedral. Okay. L'école maternelle is a preschool, a play school or a preschool. They're obligatory in France. You have to send your child to them from the age of 3 to 6, whereas as far as I know, they're not obligatory in Ireland. So l'école maternelle is a preschool or a play school. Okay, so it says Ville de Paris, the city of Paris, école maternelle, the preschool. L'école primaire then is primary school. So you go to primary school from the ages of 6 to 11. So l'école primaire, we'd say primary, they say primaire. Okay, so there's just a picture of une école primaire à Paris. A lot of the big cities would have really old school buildings for their primary schools. And then when you kind of filter into the rural parts of France, you might see the typical buildings, primary school buildings that look more like our own. La gendarmerie is another word for the police station. So earlier on, when we were looking at the masculine vocab, we learned that le commissariat de police is the Gare station or the police station. Another word for the police station is la gendarmerie. Now, when I'm doing the jobs vocab with you, you'll be learning that gendarme is another word for a guard or policeman. So gendarmerie, the police station. La fac is short for la faculté, which is college. Okay, just another word for college. I suppose not quite university, it's just a very general word. It could be university or an IT, technology, etc. An institute of technology. So la fac, college. Okay, so that shows you a faculté de droit et des sciences économiques. So a law and science faculty, a law and science college somewhere in France. L'usine is factory. Okay, so you're seeing a Volkswagen factory there. So because of the vowel and the L apostrophe, you wouldn't know that it was a feminine noun. So l'usine is the factory. So they would obviously have a lot of factories in France. A lot of them you'd find located by the big rivers because they'd have to ship in and out products. And some of them you find in big technological parks and very modern looking factories altogether. So l'usine. L'auberge de jeunesse is a youth hostel. Auberge on its own means an inn. And jeune means young, jeunesse or youth. So a youth hostel. So they'd have a lot of them in France, and they're primarily for groups of young people traveling with schools, with colleges, and them bringing them on trips to different parts of France, and they needing places to stay. So they'd put like a group of, we'll say, 8 friends into that room, and they'd all stay together, and they'd rent out the place for however long they'd need. So they're very, very cheap accommodation. So l'auberge de jeunesse, youth hostel. La caserne des pompiers is a fire station. Now, un pompier is a fireman or a firefighter. Un pompier. So la caserne des pompiers is a fire station. Okay, so la caserne des pompiers, a fire station. La rue is just the street. Very handy to know that word, la rue, because if you're wandering the streets of Paris or any city in France and you want to know where you are, look up at the little blue plaque on the corner of each street and it'll tell you Rue Saint-Faubourg, Rue Saint-Michel, Rue Saint-Clair, etc. So la rue is the street. So like I said, if you just look above the little canopy of Café du Marché, you see the little blue and green plaque on the corner of the street. They're really handy to know where you are. Okay, so that's all of the feminine town or city vocab. Again, I encourage you to look over the presentation at least 2 or 3 more times. Get familiar with the vocab, and you can watch it at your own speed and in your own time. Okay, merci.